Welcome back. The Iowa caucuses are tonight, and Donald Trump holds a significant lead among GOP voters in that state. In his final push before the polls open, the former president told voters their support would help him punish his rivals and political enemies. Joining us now here in Studio 57 is Hogan Gidley. He is the former Trump administration principal deputy press secretary. Thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So listen, I want to start with the numbers, right? He says he will win tonight's contest with more than 50% of the vote. I wonder if there's a risk there with setting the bar that high.
You know, I think Donald Trump being concerned about risk is not really, new. But listen, they have taken this campaign and understood the significance of trying to have a very substantial victory. And, there are two ways to run elections. Mike Huckabee used to tell me this all the time. You either run them unopposed or you run them scared. And right now it appears as though the Donald Trump campaign said, wait a minute, we're going to pretend as though we're down 10 points, down 20 points, with more than 4,000 precinct captains, 400 different places to train caucus goers as well. I mean, they have taken this really seriously and have gone all over the state, sending out surrogates, going into all these counties, making the connections, having the conversations, answering tough questions. And that's what you do if you want to win. Now, Donald Trump has a very big added advantage. He was the president of the United States. And so everyone else in this race is running saying, I promise I'll do the same exact thing if you elect me, where they're looking at Donald Trump going, well, I know he did them, so why would I risk it in this time of tumult with somebody that's unproven and untested? This man I know did the job and did it well, so I'm going to stand with him.
And Hogan, I know that you were also had a major role in his previous campaign as we talk about that.
Sure.
What is the Trump team strategy for 2024, especially when you do look at this sizable lead? Is there this sense that you want to set expectations, but is a sense of setting the bar almost too high in some ways and trying to be realistic and manage that expectation?
Well, listen, I think at the end of the day, regardless of how large the lead is, if he wins by one vote in Iowa, if he wins by one vote in New Hampshire, and then wins by one vote in South Carolina, he's 3-0, and the field is 0-3. The story will be Donald Trump. No one has had this type of stranglehold on the GOP electorate in my lifetime, for sure. I can't imagine it's been that way ever before. And so what we're seeing here is unique in so many different ways. But there'll be a lot of clamoring after this is over, saying he really wanted to get above 50. If he doesn't, or if he does, is look at this big lead. The fact is, a win is a win. All those playoff games last night in the NFL, I would imagine if your team won by 1 or won by 100, it wouldn't matter as long as you won. I think that's what's most significant for a campaign.
I wonder when you think, Hogan, about the strategy here. There's been a lot of criticism that he hasn't been at these debates. He hasn't been defending his record, so to speak. Is that working for him?
Well, obviously. He's up by 10, 20, 50 points in a lot of these different polls. Look, the American people know who he is. And listen, as a political comms person for decades, I could just say it would be malfeasance on my part to tell a candidate who is a client of mine, you're up by 50, go up on stage with people who are polling in the single digits and let them kick the mess out of you for the next hour and a half. No way would I tell anyone to do that. And look, this is the way it works. If you're high in the polls, you want fewer debates. If you're low in the polls, you want more debates, because you have to try and create a moment, because that's what a debate is about, and turn that moment into some type of momentum, and then a momentum ultimately into a movement. No one has been able to do that, because whether he's on the stage or off the stage, Donald Trump still sucks all of the oxygen out of the room.
We know it's a long day and a long night ahead. Hogan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Sure.